focus on I don't know if it's because they're bigger dogs. I feel like smaller dogs have a smaller brain, so they're stupid. But my dog would like fully run out from the window. My dog would be like, she has no common sense. So this was in fact my first ever solo trip, and like what better way to do that than by going on an artist residency. So I just want to be like completely candid about my whole experience, and yeah, basically the first day was not a great day. I flew into Toulouse airport. Shout out to France for having phenomenal public transport. Like everything was so easy to get around from like the airport to the hostel. I landed at like midnight, so it was just like not something you would get at home. And I decided to spend a day in Toulouse before heading down to the Gers region and Mauvesan for the artist residency. And this was, as I said, my first time traveling alone, and like I wasn't scared about being in a city on my own, using public transport, anything like that. Like I do enjoy my own company, but I just wasn't in a great headspace. I was very anxious, and I, in all honesty, spent most of this day crying, debating booking a flight home. I did change my flight home like early so I didn't have to do 2 more days in Toulouse after the residency, because I had such a breakdown on that first day on my own. Like, an unbelievable breakdown. An unnecessary breakdown upon looking back, but just, yeah, it's not all fun travel vibes. I obviously did not film myself crying. That is a place where I draw the line, but I did try and make the most of it. I did do a little bit of shopping, some research, and then I made my way down to Mauvesan and to the most beautiful place I've ever been in my entire life, the Pottery Farm Gallery. And welcome to this video. So there's 5 of us here, and we're all very different artists, which I think is really nice. I don't know if you can hear in the background, there's a Brazilian, so she's German, but she lives in America, but she plays Brazilian jazz. It's everywhere is so peaceful. It feels like another world. Having no social media makes it also kind of feel like another world. Like, I feel very privileged to be able to afford this, to be accepted to be here, to be able to like turn my phone off and kind of avoid the news and avoid like work commitments and like just focus on my art and what I want to do. I'm incredibly grateful
I'm just kind of today. I just feel incredibly grateful. Today is our first full day here. We did like a shop this morning in the local village, and then we all kind of went our separate ways and started on our respective projects. So I kind of tried to make a rough plan for myself. I want to do some sketching. I haven't drawn in 2 weeks because I was on another vacation, which was a proper vacation. This is kind of like a working vacation. Um, so I haven't drawn in 2 weeks. I haven't done any art stuff, so I'm kind of trying to ease myself back into it today. And I want to just really reflect on what I'm feeling before starting on this experience, and then kind of do like a halfway piece and then like an end piece, and do some research because I haven't done any research in a long time either. I think towards the end we're gonna do, so the lady who owns this place, she's a potter, so at the end she's gonna teach us like some stuff on like a pottery reel, which I've never done, so I'm really excited. And yeah, welcome to my first art residency, the first of many. Like, also, no one is gonna see me by these like 5 people for 2 weeks, and I'm literally having the best hair of my entire life. So, the piece that I'm focusing on my master's project, which I'm going to be making some videos about, and making some videos about my master's program as well when I'm back home. But I am focusing on, there's a part of the project that is incredibly unplanned, experimental, and like straight ahead animation, which means again like there's no plan. I'm just kind of going with the feeling and just moving through the motions. And I think being able to do that here with like no distractions and no like pressure, like I'm gonna not test it until like again like halfway, and then at the end I have very limited supplies, I have very limited resources. I like have to do it. I can't, work on any of the paintings I was working on. I can't work on like anything else realistically, because I don't have anything else, which I think is a really good beauty with this as well.
As I said, most of my days consisted of working solely on that project. Like, I had no other choice, and it was the best experience ever. So, we were all different artists. There was a visual artist, a painter, a musician, and we all got on really well, which was really nice. It was really nice to be particularly with some older female artists. Granted, they were in different like industries, but just hearing them talk about their lives, or maybe imposter syndrome, or competing with men in the industry, or anything like that, kind of providing for themselves through their art financially, and living this lovely lifestyle. Like, they had done residencies before, they were traveling major. Like, it was really inspiring and just nice to hear from someone who's obviously kind of young still, fairly like, I'm not gonna say a baby in the art world, but like maybe like a toddler in the art world. It was honestly one of the lovelier things about it, was getting to connect with these people, but also have like your alone time, because everyone knew that everyone was working, kind of vibes. I spent a lot of my time just going through the motions of the project. I was working primarily in crayon and watercolor and markers. I managed to pick some stuff up. I brought stuff with me, but I actually picked stuff up in a weird little shop in Toulouse, like kids' art stuff, because the project is based on things that happened to me like in my childhood and teenage years. So I really wanted to play into that like kid drawing element, things not looking perfect and just going more like the feeling of what is happening is so much about what my project is, that not having to worry about a model sheet or like I obviously still followed certain animation principles, that's a given, but there was such a freedom and relaxation in the creating that I had never experienced before, that I hope to keep with me for the rest of my life. I can't even like describe the peace and like fun that I found in animating, which I haven't felt probably since like ever, to be honest. Like with your undergraduate program, you're trying to learn all these principles and you're trying to be super neat and like feel like you have to prove that you're the best or prove that you deserve to be there. Where this is a project solely for me in terms of the final outcome. And my research is really what this is all going towards, which is the animation therapy. And this was hugely therapeutic. I think like that is an understatement. Being able to fully process things that had happened to me and present them in a fantastical, fun way. I ended up reading Alice in Wonderland while I was over there because there was so many books. Oh my god, I nerded out. So many books. I ended up reading both the Alice in Wonderlands, and that definitely then ended up influencing a piece of this particular shot where the main character is like dancing with the fish. It kind of makes sense. It makes sense to me, and that's all that matters. But all this like was leaning into the weirdness of what's going on, and then seeing everyone else's work and what they were doing made you want to also like work and stay inspired and stay like committed to your project.
I've had a semi-stressful day, and I low-key feel like crying because Keelan Moncrief just announced that she's emigrating, and that feels like, you know, like The Last of Us. Really, like, oh, I love her content so much. I've gone to her book swap socials. Like, I think she's done like amazing things with her platform, and like I'm excited to follow along on her journey still, but like that's kind of sad. Like when another person leaves Ireland, I think it's always just a bit like, yikes. Anyway, won't be me anytime soon.
It was also so nice to hear about people's like artistic experiences from different countries and their respective lives that kind of led them to what they were doing. Um, we did the pottery, and I'd literally never ever done this before. My nails were a bit of a pain in the ass doing it, but I had so much fun. I'm definitely a bit of a freak when it comes to texture sometimes, so I was scared that I would flip out and not do it and like bail, but I had so much fun. I made some cute little pots. We didn't get to take them home because we didn't like fully finish doing them. It was just like to practice like on the wheel. But my first one definitely was crummy. After that, I actually was kind of quite proud of what I came up with and like learning how it works and like learning from my mistakes. It was just a nice break of like, I've been loving working with my hands on this particular project. So being able to do something so like physical was so much fun. Hilary, who runs the Pottery Farm Gallery, really went above and beyond to give us what we needed to work individually. Like, she was offering up this huge house, like her space and her studio spaces, and this place that she's created to other artists and to give back to the community. And she was the sweetest person I've ever met. She drove us wherever we needed to go. She made sure that we had supplies that we needed and where we could get them. Like, she specifically gave me the room that I had because it had such a specifically huge desk for me to work in. Not only that, she let us play with her amazing dogs, which I became so enamored with. Just being somewhere with a pet, I think, made the whole experience so much more peaceful as well. You cannot be a fluffy creature hanging about. And yeah, I am forever grateful for this experience. And I will, without a doubt, be making my return to the Pottery Farm Gallery at some point. Maybe during my PhD, maybe in 10 years' time, if she's still running this residency. You should check it out. Check out the Pottery Farm Gallery. Check out her residency programs. She offers them out throughout the year. And yeah, it was truly an amazing experience.